Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Thrift. I am the project manager or owner of Sunshine State Audits, and I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. The name is Sunshine State Audits, and I am David Thrift, so you can look me up both ways. Um, Wanted to come to you tonight because I had a video that was out that explained about the constitutional First Amendment of having free speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, and so on. Well, today on the news, I found that one of our um, wonderful oppositional supportees, um, Mr. Ben from the Northside Coalition, um, he decided to uh, interrupt the news conference. Well, it was in a public place at the FDLE building, and according to the news story, they were setting up a press conference for the governor, and they were opposed. Mr. Ben was opposed to how that our governor handled the COVID virus and other things that that he brought out in the news story. Well, I have some after comments that I would like to make about it because, and I got to be careful to say this because I don't own rights to the news press, but it was on Channel 4 for those of you that want to go and watch it, or you can go on my page and watch it. Sunshine State Audits or my name, David Thrift. I shared them to both. But anyway, the governor was supposed to speak in a private press conference, and he was in a public building, and he was interrupting the news conference. Okay, so that being said, yes, you have a constitutional right to protest peacefully. You have a constitutional right to act as your own media and things of that sort. So all of that was fine until he interrupted the video or the news conference. So here is my take on it. Okay, I believe he was drawing attention to himself to get arrested, and I believe that they trespassed him because of his demeanor, even though he was definitely peaceful. Now, we both ain't on the same sides of the fence, I don't believe, because everything he said was democratic. So I definitely am not a Democrat, and I definitely see things in a different light. But what I will respond to and what I will talk about is that he had the right to be able to be in there and do what he wanted to do. But it should have been handled differently by the facilities manager. What they should have done and could have done was to put him and his group in a separate room and offer a designee to do an interview with him as the governor's interview was going on in a separate area, which that wouldn't breach security, that wouldn't breach a lot of things, and it probably would have been downplayed a lot more. However, the news got a hold of it, and they put their story on there. Well, sure, he has the right to everything that he would be doing, but the problem that they had was him interrupting the governor's conference and wanting to do a sit-in and not budge. Well, that's why he got arrested. So, Now, I have to be honest here. Though he's a Democrat, I am a Republican. I have to side with him that he was right. Even though that the motive was different than what should have been. He was drawing attention to himself, and he wanted them to arrest him so that way he could get some publicity out of it. Kind of like we do in our audits, where we show people not honoring their oath and these tyrants acting erratic. Now, I will say that it was borderline for my audit because I believe differently. But that being said, I support that he did what he did. I support the fact that he wanted to clearly state his mind and, the mind of his group or whatever. All that is fine, even though that it may not be agreed by me or by anybody else. I applaud him for his gusto to do this. But where it went wrong, I think, in my opinion, is them calling law enforcement and having him arrested. They shouldn't have done that. A, so he couldn't draw attention to himself, and B, it could have been handled a heck of a lot differently. So, that being said, I hope that you see the news article and that you will be able to articulate what I saw and to be able to make your comments known. But again, I'm not endorsing him. I'm not, sharing content that that's unshareable. But I wanted the community to see what the news thing was about, and I encourage you to watch the video from beginning to end, because that's what will show you where they went wrong, and that the facilities manager definitely could have handled it a lot differently, and I don't think that there needed to be any law enforcement presence. But again, these are people that are not as educated as we are as patriots, and some of them may not. Which I mean, the facilities manager may have meant well to do that, but he should have handled it a lot differently. And then the governor's staff and all that, they were great with him. They didn't yell back at him. They didn't say no, we don't want to hear it. Things like that. But what they did was they tried to get him to actually peacefully leave the room so that they could go on with the governor's conference. And that was where the mistake was made in those people's arena. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and let me know what you think, either on Facebook or on the YouTube. Please like and subscribe, and definitely support my channel. I would appreciate it greatly. I hope you folks are having a great new year, and it's the 4th day in, so let's see what else is going to come. But I had to share this because it coincided with what we feel about the First Amendment, and hopefully you like it.